in this event, but we'll have to see. And as far as gas cans showing, you know, really good games on Miramar, that's one, but they still need to do a lot to prove to me that they are, you know, they're truly back, at least for this event. But again, I want to echo Matt completely. I love Honey Badger's attitude and the fact that, you know, the team obviously knows that they haven't been performing the greatest. And so I think that is actually what's going to turn them around. The fact that, you know, they know where they're at and what they need to do.
Yeah, I think keeping yourself in check is one of the most important things. And
hey,
we've seen some really good attitudes coming out from a lot of these players. I think that maturity has resulted in a lot of strength and growth for some of these teams. But, you know, at the end of the day, it really is going to come down to, you know, taking that attitude and turning it into action. So that said, you know, we've got a decent flight path to start. We're 3 to 9 o'clock here. A bit of water. The rocks were kind of into play. It always makes it a little bit of an eyebrow raise to wonder if we're going to get any of the water. We could see if it were to go east again, 300 might be in a good position. That would once again be a good circle for gas cans. But as we just kill a little bit of time to see where that zone goes. For right now, there's not too much action. I think at risk between most of these teams, except, well, I say that Dodge is a little bit close to in check, and as I say that as well, the circle is a bit close to them as well.
Before it actually shifted, they just happened to be in a good spot for where the circle currently went. So really love that from SDK. And meanwhile, Fresh and looks like Spicy Fish are actually going to fight it out here.
Looks like Spicy Fish did lose Keenan in this crash, but luckily Spicy Fish were also able to trade that out just a bit. We could see a bit of knocks and some damage, but Sharpshot right now trying to keep alive as he waits for the rest of his team coming down from the ridgeline to lend a hand. 2 members of Akreshi still knocked, and that Molotov might be good. It looks like it just barely catching onto Sparking, but Vizking is going to spot out Sharpshot, get some damage onto this. And oh, that nade actually did work. So Vizking's knocked. That's 3 members of Akreshi down, and just in time, here comes Raw for backup.
Ooh, that Brazilian barbecue is delicious. Unfortunately, it is Akreshi that's the one being barbecued now. As Sharpshot, only 1 member has actually been lost. And look at this angle! So much damage potentially coming out. Flashes, what are the utility? He has nades as well. Oh, this is a dire situation for Akreshi.
Sharpshot just waiting to see if any other member peeked on top of the ridgeline there. We see Kishin actually is behind the RV trying to stay up, but doesn't matter. Ross spots him out, gets the knock. Quick flush coming out from this as well, and just in time because we can start to see Zenith getting some information if this is a fight they want to crash just yet. But now more throwables coming out from Spicy Fish as they try to take down the last member of Akreshi. That is Sparking. And meanwhile, in Monte, Soniqs taking the push right now onto Enrage. We can see Gubin is a bit low, but hasn't been knocked just yet. But all of Soniqs trying to hold the high ground as they really push Enrage out into a corner. They've got plenty of throwables left to work on this fight. As we can see Shrimzy now first up the stairs.
Oh, nice.
Switch into a Molotov. Great way to get the door. He actually catches 2 on fire here. Pulls back down to 35 HP. Tiggleton now leading the charge, waiting for one more peek, though. H1 does get spotted out by Rizola. We can see Molotov coming out for Gubin as well. It actually is going to land on Tiggleton, and that's going to push him back, but Shrimzy ready to take the push back up to them as well. So this fight can go on for some time here on the edge, but oh, look at that nade by Shrimzy.
Shrimzy gonna find a beautiful nade indeed, and now it's really just down to Soniqs methodically clearing each room, taking their time. That's gonna be a knock coming out from Shrims. And that is it for Enrage. Wow, well played to Soniqs. Textbook clearing on that building, by the way. Textbook. Very well done. As Soniqs is still approaching their second team fight of the game. I mean, it's the second buildings they're trying to clear. And those 2 stories are not easy to clear. Yeah, I mean,
Shoot to Kill do need to worry about Old Times clear this out if they want to keep control.
Yep.
But meanwhile, you've still got to worry about 300 that's starting to creep over the edge. They could have sight onto Luke 12 and Alo. You know, speaking though of creeping, though, it looks like Spicy Fish did send Roth up ahead to try to gather some information onto this fighting between InCheck and Soniqs, but unfortunately, they had 1 player knocked, so Roth's going to pull back just for now. But that means that when this fight finishes up, we might see whoever's left still alive having to deal with Spicy Fish. Sampa, meanwhile, slowly creeping back up onto InCheck.
Yeah, that knock onto Civ was actually really huge for Soniqs to be able to move forward and clear out InCheck, as they just might not be able to. He doesn't get the flush. Huge. That is the second building that Soniqs has cleaned out, basically, of a team inside, which is really rough, especially the buildings that they've actually pushed. Well played to Soniqs. I mean, they just fumigated those two teams out of those two buildings. Well played.
And not a
Literally,
moment too soon as well, because, I mean, look at this. They've managed to keep all 4 up. All the reses came out, and not a moment too soon, because here comes, looks like actually Uncivil and Sharpshot already just on the edge of zone. Meanwhile,
oh, what is
22
happening
Esports
here?
crashing onto Dodge, but Dodge gets all 4 of them.
Wow.
Lampalot, Hikerman, Hello Senpai clean it up. Hikerman did get knocked, but they're going to be able to safely get a res here as they stay out of window. No, and you can even see right now you've got so many shots out from different directions. Oath actually has to be careful. Zenith hitting shots onto this, Dodge taking shots to this. Even 300's been peeking over from their position to try to get shots out in this direction. As the kill feed lighting up, Young Kings is actually going to land 1. And the rest of Oath is going to have to just move on without reloads. They need to be a bit mindful of the high ground here. Try to take shots. It's actually be AN1 FPS. It gets a knock on to Kickstart. Gets flushed out by Hikerman, though, stolen away from Dodge. Shinboy actually going to get the flush onto Snakers as well. So third party is going to deny points there for Young King. Oath eliminated,
wow,
but Coffee
just like that.
will pick up Balefrost.
The problem is that they're fighting 2 different teams on 2 separate fronts, and so ultimately their utility is going to start to dwindle as we see Luke just dumping all of his mollies. Only 1 smoke left for Purdy. Shots are going to be coming out. Shrimzy's going to get knocked. And there goes Purdy. It's just down to Luke.
A really rough situation for Luke. We can see he continued to taking those looks over at Zenith's Compa and making sure that he's not overly visible, as Luke, along with Vegas, have pushed up to try to see what's going on with this fight and what they can pick out from the edge. But as Zampa right now working on getting that res onto Shrimzy, there's nowhere for Luke to really go, as we can see as well. He's really just got 4 smokes, no other throwables to play from. Damage out coming from Zampa as he has been rezzed. And the M4 back out once again for Luke as he tries to get close range shots. But look at this. Maluk, Vegas, they are just closing in on him. It looks like Soniqs actually turned their attention down to the south. They were thinking about forward and ahead where they want to take their next rotation. That next rotation takes them right into the midst of Spicy Fish as Tickleton does pick up Roth. We can see it drive-by successfully flushed out now as Sharpshot and Civ that have been doing so much fighting in this building have to do fighting yet again as the push coming in. Zampa now up on the roof, but still need to be a little bit mindful of the ridgeline. Luke 12 not yet dead. Neither Zenith nor Soniqs have taken care of him just yet, though. H-Win was hanging back just a bit to try to keep an eye out on Luke 12. But meanwhile, we can see good shots out from Zampa. Oh, gets the knock onto Civ.
Zampa was so thirsty for that knock. He did find it, and that's going to be Spicy Fish going out in 6. But again, it's been a much better day so far yesterday as well as the start of today. So Spicy Fish definitely looking alive and like the team we thought they would be. He's currently sitting in 4th. Luke is still alive, by the way. He's actually still alive, and he may get a knock here.
Oh.
Nope, I lied. I completely lied. Luke was having none of it. Yep, Luke was having none of it.
And just slow creeping right now by everybody that can, trying to stay ahead of the blue. 30 seconds till it closes. Zenith just lying prone in these tiny variations in the fields. I mean, these aren't even ridges or dips to play from. This is quite literally just tall grass.
True, and now Soniqs actually with a lot of room to work with.
Oh, good shooting, Tiggleton.
And one's just going to go straight down. I'm just not sure if maybe waiting was a better play for him. It's hard to tell. He showed his hand so early, and now Zampa is going to find another knock onto Vegas. And Hwin's actually getting knocked to the blue.
Doesn't look like that's stopping the rest of Soniqs, though. Shrimzy and Tiggleton trying to see if they can spot out the last members of Zenith as Phase 9 getting ready right now. Shrimzy still quick on his feet, and it's actually going to be 300 Nefer and head kick. I get the flush onto Win, a knock onto Zampa, and that's still 2 up for Soniqs. Nowhere else to really go from here. Still getting pressure from Zenith and 300. It's a 2v2v2 with the potential for a res here on each of these squads.
Yeah, aside from actually Zampa should be able to get up too. It's just Hwin that went down to the blue and ultimately got flushed. But yeah, this is a 3v3v3 in a very, very open circle. As I do love the opportunities that 300 has taken, especially get some damage onto Zenith. I mean, this is fairly even at this point.
I think there's a big potential as well that Zenith and Soniqs could be 2 to take care of each other on this side of the road. This ending dot is just on the road right outside of 300, yeah. And so if 300 can kind of wait this out just long enough that they don't have to worry about taking on 6 players themselves, this could be a potential win for him.
Oh my goodness, and here we go. We've started the crawling. And look at this, a 3-man push from Zenith, but it's Vox!
Neff
Fox
and
and
head kick
300.
Fox all clean up Zenith just like that, but unfortunately it comes at the cost of 2. Soniqs using that as the dinner bell to turn their heads over. And all they need to do is find Vox. Zampa, though, being a little bit careful. So we can see Shrimzy just sending it across the street, going wide, seeing if he can bully out Vox. Even if Vox takes shots at Shrimzy, that should make him visible there to Tiggleton. But now as he takes damage in the blue, he might just be eating it, giving the win to Soniqs as they take victory here in match number 2 today with 13 kills. Godspeed.
Money and power, respect my mind, no die from last shout. I pray my dick get big as the Apple Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn, I feel amazing. Damn, I'm in the matrix. My mind is living on cloud 9, and this 9 is never on vacation. Start up that mind.